WQAD News 8, this is WQAD This Week.
And good morning, and thank you for joining us for News 8 This Week. I'm David Bowman. We begin this morning with the latest on the COVID-19 pandemic, as this week the FDA and CDC will review data from Pfizer's and Moderna's vaccines for children under the age of 5. If the agencies find that the vaccines are safe and effective for this age group, the White House says vaccinations could begin as soon as June 21st.
It would mean that for the first time, essentially every American, from our oldest to our youngest, would be eligible for the protection that vaccines provide.
This all comes as the U.S. is averaging nearly 110,000 new cases of coronavirus every day and more than 4,100 hospitalizations every day as well. And as the summer travel season continues, the CDC is now lifting the COVID-19 requirement for international travelers. The requirement, which ended just hours ago, said international travelers needed to show a negative COVID-19 test before coming to the U.S. The airline industry had been lobbying to lift that requirement that's been in place for 17 months. United Airlines saying, quote, "This is another important step, not just for air travel, but also for all the tourism jobs that international travel supports." Now to the latest on Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Muscatine city leaders making a donation that will have an impact halfway around the world. The city has 2 surplus ambulances, and they're donating them to Ukraine today. Both vehicles have more than 200,000 miles on them, and they can't be kept in service. So the Consulate General of Ukraine in Chicago estimates that more than 110 ambulances have been damaged during the Russian war on Ukraine so far, and that approximately 7 get damaged every day. The ambulances will be donated through the organization called Ukrainian Medical Association of North America. And a Pleasant Valley student is also doing her part to support Ukraine. News 8's Jenna Webster shares how she combined a tradition and a passion to raise thousands of dollars for medical supplies.
For a good one, probably like 5 hours.
Emily Goodpaster knows a thing or two about patience and a steady hand.
It kind of takes a while for the egg to take the dye.
She learned how to decorate these traditional Ukrainian Easter eggs from her mom, Miroslava,
like so many people are interested,
who grew up in Western Ukraine.
We used to go every summer since I was like really little.
As Russia's invasion of the country continues, the Goodpasters have remained in contact with friends and family still in Ukraine.
Some of them had lost relatives and family friends of theirs, and it just made us feel really almost guilty that we were here in the United States, like safe from everything.
So Emily wanted to do something.
She kept asking me, "Mom, can I go to Ukraine and volunteer at the military hospital?"
It is really dangerous, and we had a fear that maybe we would get stuck there and not be able to come back.
Instead, she started raising money. First by teaching people how to make the Easter eggs, and now online.
Sterile bandages are really important.
It all goes toward medical supplies.
Each kit costs around $40-ish. So
something that's desperately needed in Ukraine right now.
They're like, send anything, we'll take anything. Military websites were really important to us because it just helped us know what we needed to pack for military purposes, and these are going to the front lines in Ukraine.
It's not quite the same as being on the front lines herself.
I've just been really passionate about the medical field.
But Emily and her steady hand,
either cardiothoracic or reconstructive surgery,
will find themselves in a hospital one day.
I can't picture myself doing anything else in the future.
In Bettendorf, Jenna Webster, WQAD, News 8.
Jenna, thank you. Emily has raised nearly $14,000 so far and is hoping to send 200 first aid kits. For information on how you can donate, you can go to our website, WQAD.com. And a former Scott County dispatcher won a workers' compensation case that she took all the way to the Iowa Supreme Court. News 8's Josh Lamberty reports.
Behind these walls, Scott County dispatchers answer our calls.
Phone rings pretty much nonstop, and you never know what's on the other end of the line.
Calls like in September 2018, one Mandy Tripp answered, and for nearly 2 minutes, a woman screamed in a high-pitched voice, begging for help.
That day, it became difficult to focus. It was more the following weeks where I couldn't necessarily get past it.
Mandy was later diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. She was denied workers' compensation, according to court documents, because 911 dispatchers routinely take calls involving death and traumatic injury. So the 19-year dispatcher took her case to the Iowa Supreme Court, a first for her attorney, Andrew Briesco.
They maybe take one workers' compensation case a year.
Briesco says that previous rulings placed an unfair burden on dispatchers.
They have to show sort of an extra unusual event, an extra stressful event that occurred. And what we fought for was to be on an even playing field with all other workers across the state.
The Iowa Supreme Court agreed, saying Mandy was entitled to compensation.
The court got it right.
After leaving her job in December, Mandy says change is due.
You know, if a big incident happens, there needs to be some debriefings and things like that. They happen, they just don't happen often enough.
A victory for those answering our calls.
Nobody sees the first responders, but we're always there.
Josh Lamberty, WQAD News 8.
Josh, thank you. And Mandy's attorney says the state Supreme Court's decision is a big step toward destigmatizing PTSD. And cyber crimes and scams are on the rise again, and some of the most targeted people are those 50 years or older. News 8's Shelby Kluver explains how you can protect yourself and your loved ones.
I was sitting on my couch with my dog.
It was a normal Saturday for Debbie Malarker until she got a call.
And they said, we're cutting your Iowa, Illinois Power and Light within 30 minutes. You got to put money in right now.
Eventually, Malarker gave them her checking account numbers, credit card, driver's license, and social security number.
I felt really vulnerable and dumb for letting them have all this information.
It's why the Iowa Insurance Division held a Fraud Fighters Forum on Tuesday.
We really encourage people to double check. Double check.
Iowa Insurance Commissioner Doug Oman says be on the lookout for scams related to the news.
Currently, we're seeing high energy prices, and so alternative energy investments are becoming very common.
And your age could make you a prime target. Last year, the AARP found Americans 50 and older lost nearly $3 billion to cybercrimes, a 62% increase from 2020.
They become a real good mark for a scam.
So what happens if you are targeted?
They're going to try to get you to do things quickly right now. They want to get it done. Slow it down.
You can also double check with the Iowa Insurance Division to see if a person is legit. Never give out personal information to someone you don't know. And if they're asking for payments in gift cards, Bitcoin, or other abnormal currencies, it's probably a scam.
I think people need to know that there's so many scams.
It's a painful lesson these fraud fighters are hoping to protect others from. In Davenport, Shelby Kluver, WQAD News 8.
Shelby, thank you. And here in the Metro Quad Cities, the Davenport Police Department has a new way for you to report a potential scam. If you believe you've been scammed, you can fill out DPD's online reporting system. We have links to that set up on our website, WQAD.com.